Birthday BSA
You
tomorrow.
almost couldn't see me there behind all these presents that we've got laid out for the BSA's birthday, which is so exciting. It's actually tomorrow, but in the spirit of Trek on Tuesday, we wanted to celebrate the birthday today with the help of you, the viewer.
Yes. So, guys, I want to make sure we let you know this right off the bat because we have a big challenge today. We want to have 113 comments, which represent each of the years that the Boy Scouts of America has existed. So we need 113 comments before we end today's show. I believe we can do it. All you have to do is type in happy birthday or maybe a favorite scouting memory. You could tag somebody else who needs to wish the BSA a happy birthday. We need the comments. So far, I'm counting, 2.
Yes.
So
Amanda and Rusty, thank you very much. You guys have gotten us off to a good start.
Yes, we're making progress. So again, we want 113 comments. We need your help. While we wait for the 113 comments to roll in, we have some other exciting things to do. I know that in 113 years, there have been a lot of scouts in the program who have gained quite a bit of notoriety, right, Aaron?
That's exactly right, Gina. It's around 2018. It would have been 5 years ago. We created a blog post, a story about famous scouts, and we have been adding to them ever since. So the blog post is now updated with 113 scouts who become famous. There is the URL right now. These are not all Eagle Scouts. Some of them are Eagle Scouts. Some of them may have only been in the program for a few years. That's okay. But basically, anyone who's famous that we could find who with some connection to scouting is listed in this story. We're going to go over some of the more interesting names. Some of them were surprising to me. We're also going to reveal the new addition. So every year in this story, we add one more name for the list. The reason why there's 113 this year, Gina, is because the BSA is 113 years old. So as you can see, we've been adding one person every year. I was lucky enough to be the person to get to add the famous scout this year. We're going to tell you who that is here in just a minute. But in the meantime, do we mention we need happy birthday comments?
We need 113, actually. Actually, let me correct myself. We, at this point, I believe, only need 98.
Okay, we're making great progress. At this rate, we'll be done in no time.
Right.
Feel free to tag a friend, like Gina said. Wish the BSA a happy birthday. I can't believe it's been 113 years, Gina. It seems like just the other decade the BSA was founded. I can't believe it.
It's unreal. 113 years. Tomorrow is the actual official birthday of the Boy Scouts of America. Today is the party. Now, Aaron, I do have one question about the BSA's birthday. Do you have any guess what like a boat's favorite part of the BSA's birthday party is?
What is a boat's favorite part? BSA cake, water. Gina, I don't know what.
It's the piñata.
The piñata, of course. Yes, thank you, Gina.
Of course.
Very, very good.
And then also, Aaron, one quick update. We're at 19 happy birthday comments. So I don't know, fast math, how many that means we need 90.
No one could know that, but I want to point out real quick, Todd's an Eagle Scout, and he mentions the year that he earned that rank. That's a great idea. You guys, if we have any Eagle Scouts or anybody who was involved in scouting as a youth, let us know when and where you were involved in scouting, what your experience is like. Are you now a registered adult? Are you a scout parent? We would love to know.
Yes. And so let's read a few of the comments that are rolling in. Amanda says happy birthday. Kristen says happy birthday. Amanda, thank you for chiming in with the multiple comments. That is allowed.
By the way, yes, multiple comments do count. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate that.
113 years of helping kids. Great program. That's a good point. Scouting didn't change missions halfway through. It's pretty much always had the same mission, and it's doing the same thing for 113 years.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. The program has changed over the years, but the goal has remained exactly the same, Gina.
Rob says, happy birthday, BSA. My favorite memories are Florida. Oh, yeah, you just highlighted this one. Love this comment. At Florida Sea Base, earning Eagle Scout. We'd like to ask everyone in the comments as well, please leave those favorite memories. It could be favorite memories with your son or daughter or your own. Oh, we've even got a Feliz Cumpleaños in the comments. Thanks,
I like it. Thanks, Mauricio. Yes, very nice. Come to us from Chile.
Yes. So, Aaron, I'm on the edge of my seat about who, I don't know if you're saving it. Maybe it's going to be something you save for the end, but who got added to the list this year?
So again, there is a list of 113 famous scouts. Before I tell you who the 113th is, which is the one I just added to this list a few days ago, I wanted to rattle off some of the names that a lot of folks are probably going to recognize. Gina, most people know that Neil Armstrong, an astronaut, the first man to walk on the moon, was a scout. In fact, Mr. Armstrong earned the rank of Eagle in 1947. A lot of famous folks on this list. Gene, I'll just go through here real quick. Hank Aaron was a scout, baseball's all-time leading home run leader. Bill Bradley, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was a scout. There's a whole section on this story related to athletes. Nolan Ryan, one of my favorite players, the pitcher, was a scout. And one of my favorite ever quarterbacks, a guy named Steve Young. Gina, you might not know Steve Young. Steve Young played quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers back in the 80s and 90s. I like Steve Young because he was left-handed like me. I did not know, however, that Steve Young was a Boy Scout.
I did not know that either. Again, Aaron he's holding on to it as kind of a little present for once we get to 113 comments,
Yes.
potentially, or at least closer. Who got added to the list this year? I've seen some people in the comments guessing who they think got added to the comments.
Oh, cool.
Keep that going, because big time reminder, guys. We're trying to get 113 comments to commemorate each of the years the Boy Scouts of America has existed. You guys are doing a great job. We're a little bit over this at this point, but last count I had that we have 32 comments.
Okay.
So I believe that's whatever 98 plus 13 is. Wait. No, that's not right.
Yeah, who could know? No one could know for
are
sure.
looking at probably needing about 70. Oh, 70. What is 78 plus 13?
92?
Okay.
93.
We're kicking down those comments. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more have just rolled in. Guys, please keep commenting. Amanda is really doing a great job.
Yeah, Amanda all by herself is doing an awesome job. We appreciate that very much. Gina, I'm not going to tell you who the 113th scout is, or famous scout is just yet, but I will give you a clue. I'm going to guess that most people aren't going to recognize the name, but you will recognize what this person is famous for. So that's a little bit of a clue for you there. I've seen a couple of folks guess Ashton Kutcher, who is our brand new best friend from California. You guys might have seen the story recently about him being a scout. That is not the 113th famous scout. This is a person whose name you might not recognize, but when I tell you what he is known for, you'll go, aha, now that I have heard of. Another category of famous scouts on our list, Gina, are authors and journalists. Walter Cronkite. I grew up with Walter Cronkite. He was a scout. There's also a list of civil rights leaders on our list. Martin Luther King Jr., a lot of folks know he was a scout. As a matter of fact, we were able to find a few years ago, Brian on Scouting got a copy of Martin Luther King Jr.'s registration from the council where he was a member. That was very, very cool. There are tons and tons of entertainers who were recently scouts. Jack Black, the funny comedian, funny guy, he was a scout. John Bon Jovi was a scout. Gina, Jimmy Buffett was a scout.
Whoa.
I know. Can you believe it? Harrison Ford, Han Solo himself was a scout. And one of the things that's kind of funny, Gina, you know who Zach Galifianakis is from The Hangover?
Oh, yeah.
Zach he's not just a scout. He's an Eagle Scout.
Oh, you know what? I knew that. I feel like that's been a big deal. He does the Between Two Ferns, and,
yes.
People love that.
Yes, exactly right.
I'm always kind of shocked as we read this list. Just kind of, I'm mesmerized looking at it right now. I saw a few that are coming up that I had no idea about because I just can't remember 113 names. If you're looking to look at this full list, or maybe you want to share some names at a pack or unit meeting tonight or tomorrow night, you can get to this article by using that URL at the bottom of our screen, go.scoutingmagazine. I left the page while I said go.scoutingmagazine.org/famous. I was preparing for something really important, which is a question that I have for Aaron, which is, it's totally off topic, but it's serious. Okay. How can you tell when a scout's earned the cooking merit badge?
How can you tell when a scout has earned the cooking merit badge? I don't know, Gina, how?
I think it's because he makes good use of his time
Like the
Time.
spice.
The
Time.
spice.
Yes. Very,
Yeah.
very, very nice.
Yeah, so honestly, we've got like a century of jokes as well.
Yeah.
You can submit your own jokes at scoutlife.org. These jokes that I'm reading today are submitted by our readers as well. And Aaron, at last count, do you want to have just a random guess at how many comments we've got?
So we had 30 something, I think, at our last
Yeah.
update. Are we up in the 50s now?
We are at 51 last
Okay,
count.
we're
I
doing
believe we've even
great.
surpassed that. Heather says pack 3068 is in the house. Guys, if you've just tuned in, or maybe you've just been relaxing your fingers for a few minutes, we're trying to get to 113
Now's the time to start typing. If you've been relaxing your fingers,
let's all
get them
stretch
going.
them out, take a deep breath, and comment, because we need 113 comments to commemorate the 113th birthday of the Boy Scouts of America, which is tomorrow. Hello, Kristen. Thanks for commenting along with today's show. And Aaron, we've got quite a lot of viewers right now.
You guys are doing great. And we are also, as we collect our comments here, we are going through our list of 113 famous scouts. We add one person to that list every year. And I'm going to tell you who we added this year in another few minutes. But I want to address one more quick topic from this list. You know, that's kind of interesting. We said we were in the entertainment category last time we left off. And we mentioned the name Harrison Ford, who was a scout. He, of course, played Indiana Jones early in his career. I was just going to say the fictional character of Indiana Jones was himself a scout, as confirmed in the Raiders of the Lost Ark cinematic universe. That character, of course, created by Steven Spielberg, an Eagle Scout himself. Yes, there's a nice little scouting connection to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Steven Spielberg is a scout. And Jen, I don't know if you ever saw The Fabelmans. Yes. That's Steven Spielberg's most recent movie.
It was all over that movie.
It was about his time in scouting, an excellent movie, nominated for all kinds of awards. And in that movie, Gina, let me look this up to make sure I get it right. There was a guest appearance in that movie by one of Steven Spielberg's friends, and that is the director named David Lynch. David Lynch is also an Eagle Scout, Gina. So all kinds of weird scouting, I shouldn't say weird, all kinds of interesting scouting. I don't know if Steven did that on purpose or not. When Steven Spielberg made a movie about his time as a scout, and he asked one of his friends to have a cameo in that movie, and in real life, that friend is also an Eagle Scout. Coincidence? Who could know?
Clearly not.
But it's pretty cool, yes. The list of entertainers who are scouts is quite long. Chris Pratt is a scout, or was a scout, Gina. Jimmy Stewart was a scout.
Such a Boy Scout at heart, I think.
Yes, and we know, of course, Mike Rowe, the host of Dirty Jobs. He's been not only a scout as a youth, but kind of a spokesman for scouting over the years. We love Mike. Mike's an Eagle Scout, by the way.
I don't think you called it out, but you might have. Richard Gere didn't realize he was a scout. You saw that as we scrolled. Creek Stewart, he's a friend of scouting for sure. He's made a few appearances. That's pretty cool. I mean, you're just hitting like kind of like the A+++ list. The list goes on. There's a lot of people.
The list of 113 scouts goes on and on. Yes. Gina.
Yeah.
It's very extensive. Yes.
Now, I love Mr. Cohen's comment here. Troop 97 is in the house, and it'll be their 75th anniversary in 2023. Now, that's impressive for a troop. We're talking about the organization as a whole is celebrating 113 years tomorrow. For a troop to be around for 75 years is really a long time.
Yes, I occasionally get emails from troops that have been around 75, 80, 85 years. There are still some troops that have been kicking for almost as old as the BSA itself, which is very, very cool. Think about all the volunteers that have passed through the troop during that time, all of them dedicated to keep it going, right? Those troops don't just stay going by themselves, right? Very, very cool.
Right. So reminder for everybody watching, we are trying to get to 113 comments. I'm going to give you an updated count on that in just a few minutes, but keep those comments coming. We're getting close. We're doing really well. You guys are rocking it. Amanda has chimed in, and I'm sure he's on the list, but Imagine Dragons has Dan Reynolds. He is, I believe, an Eagle Scout.
I believe he's an Eagle Scout as well. Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. He's interviewed by our own Brian on Scouting. So it's really a party for all these guys who are scouts as well.
Absolutely. Another pretty good category of scouts going through our 113 list of famous scouts is the category of politicians and public officials. President George W. Bush was a scout, Gina. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is a scout. Robert Gates, John F. Kennedy, Ross Perot, Rick Perry, Donald Rumsfeld, Jeff Sessions, all these names, Rex Tillerson, all these folks were scouts. A lot of connections to scouting in the presidency. Mainly, I think Gerald Ford, the 38th U.S. president, Gerald Ford, Gina, an Eagle Scout from the class of 1927. So think about it. Gerald Ford was an Eagle Scout. The BSA had only been around 14 years when Gerald Ford earned the rank of Eagle.
I do think that comes up as a trivia question a bit. It will be, who is the only Eagle Scout president?
Yes.
Take note, because honestly, that trivia served me well a few times. I have two questions for you, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any guess on how many comments we've gotten so far?
I bet we're getting, oh boy, the comments are coming in fast. It looks like, I bet we're in the 70s by now. Are we in the 70s?
We're at 87.
87. You guys are doing amazing. That is awesome.
It's amazing.
We encourage you guys to keep those birthday wishes flowing, especially if you ever want Gina and I to stop talking. I mean, if that's your goal,
we can keep going.
That's right. We can go all day.
They didn't want this show to go more than 20 minutes. That's clear. So in 4 minutes, I guess, can you get us out of here? 113 comments is our goal to celebrate 113 years of a wonderful program called Boy Scouts of America.
Yes.
Aaron, my second question for you is, the BSA is getting a really big present for its birthday.
Okay.
Do you want to know what it is?
Gosh, what do you get the BSA for its 113th? I don't know, Gina, what?
For its 113th birthday, the BSA is getting older.
Well, yeah, that's something I can relate to, Gina. Very good. Very appropriate. Love the birthday jokes. Dad jokes have been around pretty much since the beginning of the BSA. So we certainly are going to continue that fine tradition as we enter the BSA's 113th year, which officially starts tomorrow, actually, Gina. Very exciting.
Now, Lenny says that the founder of Marriott was a scout. That does ring true to me. I think J.W. Marriott. But Walmart, too? Yeah. No, I didn't know that.
I have heard that as well. I don't know. Founder of Walmart, I think I've actually got it right here, Sam Walton. Yeah. I believe the founder of Walmart, Eagle Scout class of 1934. Somebody earlier mentioned Bill Gates as a famous scout. Yes, Bill Gates is indeed a scout, the co-founder of Microsoft. Now, Bill Gates' dad, William Gates Sr.,
Mr. Gates,
is an Eagle Scout. Yeah, Mr. Gates to you is an Eagle Scout, class of 1941. Did we say Bill Marriott? Is that what somebody said?
Oh, no, I said JW. Bill Marriott sounds right. Yeah.
Bill Marriott, the executive chairman of Marriott International, is an Eagle Scout, class of 1947. The CEO of GameStop is an Eagle Scout. The former president and CEO of Campgrounds of America, Dreyer's Ice Cream, Alaska Airlines, David Weekley Homes. All of these leaders of business are, in fact, Eagle Scouts.
Some of these guys have been involved in scouting. Obviously, they've all been involved in it, period. But a lot of them have been involved in a big way, continuing to volunteer after they became professionals in their own right, a lot of times, and even in recent history, and some of them still are volunteers with Scouts, and that's very, very cool.
Yes.
Lenny also calls out Hank Aaron. We were just talking about how I think people love to see, there's actually some vintage, like, Boy Scouts of America ads with Hank Aaron that are super cool.
Yes.
And Amanda
makes got his red neckerchief on. It's very, very cool.
Exactly. Amanda makes a really good point that the BSA looks great for 113 years. It looks young.
True. For 113, yes, it's never looked better. It's amazing.
It's awfully hyper for how old it is.
Yeah, it's still got a lot of energy. Definitely.
It has a lot of energy. Does not want to sit down and be quiet. That's for sure.
Yes.
Still really wants to race the cars and do all those things.
That's exactly right.
Heather says Scouts has been such a huge part of my family's life. My son thrives as a Scout. She loves being a Gen leader.
Oh, that's great, Heather.
Yeah. Love to hear those stories. Guys, keep these comments coming. We're getting very, very close to our 113 comment goal. Why 113, you may ask? Because the BSA is turning 113 tomorrow.
We are also getting very, very close to revealing our 113th Scout, the 113th famous Scout that was added to our ongoing list of famous Scouts. I'm going to reveal that here in just another minute or two. I wanted to go through one last category of famous Scouts. This one might be maybe the most important one, soldiers and war heroes. Did you know, Gina, that the very first ever Eagle Scout, a young man by the name of Arthur Eldred, he was the first Eagle Scout. He was also a Navy veteran. He earned his Eagle rank in the class of 1912. The BSA was 2 years old when it awarded its first Eagle Scout, and that was to Arthur Eldred. Charles McGee was a fighter pilot, member of the Tuskegee Airmen. He was an Eagle Scout. Thomas Morris, a Navy SEAL who received the Medal of Honor for his actions during the Vietnam War. He's an Eagle Scout. Mitchell Page is a Marine who received the Medal of Honor for his actions at the Battle of Guadalcanal. Eagle Scout. And finally, Leo K. Thornsness, Air Force Colonel who received the Medal of Honor for his actions in the Vietnam War. Another Eagle Scout. Lots of famous scouts, lots of famous Eagle Scouts. Gina, as a matter of fact, we've got a list of about 113 of them for folks to read if you're interested.
Yeah, you can actually check out that list for yourself. Use it for some, pack meeting, unit meeting content. Go.scoutingmagazine.org/famous is the URL where you can find that. I like this comment. Congrats, BSA. Let's do another 113 years at least. Yes. I agree. I think we're going to do it. 100%. I don't think it's going anywhere.
I agree. And Gina and I will be there every step of the way to cover it every year.
Can you imagine us in 113 years? Unless maybe they'll freeze us and unfreeze us. Then we'll
maybe they'll just unfreeze us every 113 years to do the show.
Yeah.
And put us back.
They'll just think, oh, you know what we should do? We should revive Gina and Aaron for a show and then put them back on ice. Maybe. You never know.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. We only need 5 more comments.
Can't believe it. We've already got 108 if my math serves me correct. Maybe now's a good time, Gina, as we near that 113th comment, for me to start the reveal of who our 113th famous scout is.
Definitely. But before you do, you were talking a lot about sports, and I know that the Super Bowl is coming up. And so I just wanted to ask you if you know what the quarterback said to the scout.
What the quarterback said to the scout? No, I don't.
He said, hike.
Because scouts go on hikes.
And then the football, hike.
Football, you hike the ball to the quarterback.
Right.
Speaking of the Super Bowl coming up, Gina, did you know that there are 2 Eagle Scouts that are going to be playing in the Super Bowl this Sunday?
I didn't. I knew there were brothers or something.
There are brothers. That's done. Neither one of them were in Scouts, as far as I can tell. Certainly neither one of them were Eagle Scouts. By the way, just that's a little tease for you. Stay tuned to Aaron on Scouting. Tomorrow we'll have a story about those 2 famous scouts, Eagle Scouts, who are playing in the Super Bowl this weekend. They both play for the same team. I'm not going to say which one, though.
No spoilers. Very cool.
I'm not going to say which one.
Love the suspense. Now, speaking of suspense, you've kept us in suspense throughout today's show. I am so curious. Aaron has not even answered this question for me privately before the show went live. Who is the 113th scout on the list? Who got added?
Yes. So when they asked me to add a 113th scout to the list, I tried to go through in my mind some of the folks we learn of. Every year I hear about someone who is a scout that I didn't realize was a scout. And this is a name that I think a lot of people aren't going to recognize the name. Like I said, his name is Kenneth Cooper, Dr. Kenneth H. Cooper, to be precise. Dr. Cooper, though, is famous for inventing. Gina, do you have any guesses? Maybe we should ask the viewers. Do you guys know who Dr. Kenneth H. Cooper is? He's an Eagle Scout. He earned that rank in the class of 1946. He just turned, I want to say this last year, 91 or 92 years old. He's extremely healthy for a man his age. And there's a reason why. It's not a coincidence that he's still healthy.
He invented...
Rob got it.
Oh, I was going to guess Post-it notes.
Dr. Kenneth Cooper is the father of modern aerobics. He basically invented this idea back in the 60s and 70s of, hey, you know what you guys need to do to stay healthy? You need to exercise your heart. You need to increase your heart rate for 30 minutes to an hour every single day, and that'll help you live longer. He called it aerobic exercise. You know, I can remember, Gina, when I was young, it kind of sounded weird. What are you talking about, jumping around and jumping jacks? And why would anybody do that? It's just the weirdest thing. Dr. Kenneth Cooper was one of the pioneers of that field. He really said, yes, absolutely, Gina. Dr. Kenneth Cooper was one of the people who really pushed that idea. Hey, if you exercise, an hour or so a day, you're going to live longer. Your heart will be healthier. Dr. Kenneth Cooper is our 113th famous scout, Gina.
That is very cool. I never would have guessed. There's a lot of doctors on the list. We were even talking about one of the doctors on the list before the show was live today. I'm going to be looking into Dr. Kenneth Cooper a bit after today's show. Great job with the guess. And yeah, Amanda's right. Thanks for helping save lives with exercise, Dr. Cooper. Aaron, we have far surpassed 113 comments. We did it. I mean,
Yay.
we were worried. We thought, how long is it going to take? Are we going to be live for like 5 hours? I kind of thought at least an hour, but easy. You guys,
I do have
got
some
us done
other
in
work
record
to do
time.
this afternoon, so I appreciate this getting taken care of.
Yeah, keep the comments coming. Maybe we'll get, 1,113 comments. That's our new goal.
Yes, but we're not going to stick around the whole time and wait for it. Just go ahead and keep commenting.
You can comment
after
today,
this
you can
video's
comment
over.
tomorrow. Yeah, the goal is set for tomorrow at midnight. If you want to help us achieve that many comments, I can't even say that number again, it was so long. Just tag someone in the comments. All we need to do is wish the BSA a very happy birthday. Hope you guys are celebrating somehow tomorrow. We give you permission to have cake. Depending on your dietary needs, that will dictate what kind of cake. And per Dr. Cooper, get some aerobic exercise before and after.
Absolutely. Heather, I'm right there with you. I might go have a slice of cake right now. I'll do some aerobics later to make up for it pretty much. I want to just let everybody know that we actually have a special show tomorrow. Is it tomorrow is it 2 p.m. tomorrow, right, Gina? 2 p.m.
That is
Central?
right.
2 p.m. Central, a news show. Some of you might have watched us do Cub Chat Live on Fridays. We're debuting a new show tomorrow called Troop Talk Live. It's kind of like Cub Chat Live, but for Scouts BSA troops instead. If you are interested in Scouts BSA, if you have a son in Scouts BSA, if you were ever in Scouts BSA, if you think you might be involved in Scouts BSA at some point, please tune in tomorrow for our first ever episode of Troop Talk Live right here on this channel at 3 p.m. Central. We'll probably do another shout out to the BSA's birthday.
Definitely.
But then we're going to talk about Scouts BSA issues and mainly merit badges.
Yeah, I think that if you are a volunteer or a parent in Cub Scouts or Scouts BSA, you're going to still be interested in the other show. So you would still be interested in Cub Chat Live or Troop Talk Live. Again, that show is at 2 p.m. Central Time. 2 p.m. Central Time, we will be live because that is the same time we go live on Fridays for Cub Chat Live.
Exactly right, Gina. I'm looking forward to it. Our guest tomorrow is going to be the Scouts BSA communication chair. She's a lovely lady, an excellent communicator, as you can imagine. She's going to do an excellent job. I'm very excited. Guys, I'm really impressed. 113 plus happy birthday comments. Very, very, very cool.
Yep, it's going to be a good one. We'll both be here tomorrow. Yay, Lizette, we'll see you there. And everybody else, happy birthday to you and your wonderful BSA organization. It's tomorrow, but we can start saying it now. It's kind of like Merry Christmas. It's
Absolutely.
the birthday season.
You can start saying it early. Great job, all you viewers. We appreciate it very much. Tune in tomorrow for Troop Talk Live at 2 p.m. We will see you guys then. Thank you so much for the show. Happy birthday, BSA. Bye, everybody.